is all about my life. I mean, it discusses stuff that, like, about the documentary, issues that are in the documentary, and my car accident where I broke my jaw and lost all my teeth and broke my neck. I didn't know if I was going to work again. Deals with, like, shows me in going to rehab and a lot of different traumatic and just sad experiences, but not all bad. You know, it's like a little autobiographical kind of story about different events in my life.
And that's a single of your new album.
It's one of them. It's the first. Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. And through this whole process, I started writing this song, and yeah, I don't know if I thought of it as, oh, this is going to be the single. It's just kind of part of everything that's happening right now, and so I just felt it would be a good time to kind of, I'm telling my story, I'm getting everything out there, and the way that I communicate is through songs and writing music and lyrics. So, this just came out that way.
And the songwriting process changed, like in this album, like it became more honest. It became like you dug into parts of yourself that you never dug into. Like how
definitely. I mean, when I first started writing this record, I didn't really think about singles and radio or anything like that. I kind of just sat down at the piano and just, I had so much to get out that I just started writing songs, and they just started coming and started doing all of this kind of self-reflection and getting everything out, and these songs just started coming, and like you said, I mean, it's really one of the most honest, self-reflective, autobiographical, I keep using that word, but it's the right one to use, is of any of my albums or any of my songs. I mean, I think my album Telegraph has a lot of, because I wrote and recorded Telegraph in the midst of all of this actually happening.
Okay.
And so if you go back to that record, you'll...
What year is Telegraph, sorry?
2005, maybe.
Okay,
it came out.
Wow.
It might have come out in 2005, but I started writing it like during all of this, and I think if you go back and dissect some of a lot of the lyrics, they'll kind of hit a little differently.
Wow.
With all of this being out now and knowing what I was going through when I was writing
even
that.
you reading those lyrics, you're like, okay, wow. It's like right now, how do you feel reading those lyrics from 2005?
Well, I mean, I was living it, so I knew what I was writing about. I think that fans listening to the record are going to see it differently now.
Wow.
And be able to kind of read in. Like I've noticed a couple of tweets from fans that are saying that are looking into those certain lyrics and things and going, whoa, I think I see what he's talking about here now. And yeah, so I think on Telegraph it has a lot of that, but this album has, I mean, it's just, I mean, even the song that I'm releasing tomorrow, it's like it's how I was with the documentary. Like, whoa, that lyric's pretty heavy, or that part of the video is a little strong. Like, do I really want to put all of this out there? And I just keep coming back to, what I've gotten through this process is realizing that you're not alone and meeting other people who share your experiences. That's why the name of the song is called I Kind of Relate.
Okay.
Because I want to share, like, and it's, there's always double meanings and things. It's like, I kind of relate, but it's also, I've heard from so many other people that when you start to open up about your story, they feel comfortable to open up to you about their story, and you find so many things you guys can relate with, and there's healing through that, and there's a process of moving forward, and strength and safety that you feel when someone else tells you, hey, you know, because it's one thing where...
It's validation also,
yeah,
right?
it's validation. And, you know, when you tell a friend, oh, I'm going through this right now, and they go, oh, well, I understand because I'm going through this right now, and they're completely disconnected. They're not, there's not like a really empathetic, like, oh, well, tell me what you're going through. Like, let me listen to you. Let me hear you. It's like they instantly tell you everything going wrong in their life. So
it's a one-up game, be fine. Right?
It's a one-up game.
Yeah.
But when you meet people or are discussing such tough things and hard things to talk about, and they come back with, oh, I have similar experiences. Like, I can totally relate to that because this happened to me, and you know, this is how I've dealt with it, or this is what I've been going through. It helps a lot. And so even though with the documentary and with this new song and with the video and all this, I've struggled with, oh man, do I want to put that out to the world? But then I, you know, keep going, well, what if somebody sees it and that's their thing that goes, oh, all right, like, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
you can be the one that makes someone feel accompanied, like you may be the one that exposes your case and makes someone click their own case and makes them feel better. Do you think that when you were writing those songs in 2005, were you kind of expecting that someday people will understand the meanings, or were you only writing for yourself?
No, I was writing for myself. I never imagined that I would ever talk about this stuff, and I had so many moments in my life imagining, you know, what would it be like if I actually said anything or ever came out about any of this, and I never really imagined that it would actually come to fruition and that it would actually happen, you know. So, and
it was so long, it was 15 years.
Yeah.
So it became almost like a fantasy, like, oh, maybe like someday people will find, but it's like a way to, like for you, it was so out of the game.
Yeah.
Telling everybody.
Yeah, completely. And and all the things that come along with it, you know, I mean, it's a really I don't know the right words, how to put it into words. It's other than just saying it's a tough experience. Like, I keep coming back to the roller coaster analogy, but it is. It's like you're like, oh, this feels so great that this weight has been lifted and I've gotten this off my chest. But then at the same time, you're thinking, oh, why? What am I doing? And why is this? And it's just a back and forth. But at the end of the day, you do walk lighter, and you know, but it's a process.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's a process. It doesn't just click overnight, and you're like, oh, well, got that off my chest, and now that's over and behind me.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a process, but I think that it's beneficial for your well-being, and I think the good outweighs the bad with it.
Do you think your career would be different if that didn't happen in the past?
I think so, definitely. I think.
In what sense?
I not just my career, but I think that my life would be different. You know, I mean, the way that I struggled mentally, and I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure that with what I was going through, how it affected others. You know, people I hurt along the way. Bridges I burnt, not just in career, but in life. And I'm sure that a lot of the people around me were really affected by my actions and how I was reacting to things happening inside. And, you know, you have to take responsibility for those things because, you know, I was the one getting the DUI. I was the one drinking and putting the substances in my body. Nobody was forcing them down my throat. So, I mean, obviously there's a responsibility to be taken for that stuff, but I truly believe that if I wasn't battling with these demons, that it would have been a much different outcome.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.